hesitation. Gets the rattle and roll.
God, boy. You know you're feeling good when you're making those kind of shots.
OKC outscoring Portland by 7 here in the fourth quarter, and they've opened up an 11-point lead with 2:50 to go. We're going to take you out there for the finish here in just a moment. Carmelo Anthony's having a rough night, 4 of 18 from the field for 9 points in a game that, well, you mentioned earlier, when the record gets to a certain point, you just got to win games, or you get yourself to a point where you're out of touch with the playoff teams.
Here we're talking about if you're Portland, you got OKC coming to your place, and you lose these games, and all of a sudden you got to play 700 ball on the way in to make up for it, and it's just hard to do. And so every game they get under 500 is just harder to get back to that. And I don't see any record of a team under 500 making it in the Western Conference. I mean, eventually you're going to have 43, 44 wins, and so Portland's been funky all year. I know Melo helped them out with some offense. He's having a tough night tonight. He's been a good fit with them. We talked about it earlier. They've lost their big guys, Collins and Nurkic, to help in there. So they've got problems. They have not been the same team that we saw last year get to Western Conference Finals. Yeah,
Collins, Nurkic, now Rodney Hood.
Yeah.
On top of that, and we talked about earlier about them trying to find. They already were short at that position, that small forward position. So they're looking for answers there. But, as you said, Kevin, they've dug a hole. They're digging a hole for themselves that they're not going to be able to pull themselves out of.
And I always thought, Brian, even when they were playing well, they're such a jump shot dominant team that they're always relying on making a lot of jump shots for them. And so just not enough easy baskets.
It's felt to me for a long time like there's just too small a margin of error for Portland. To your point, when they're not shooting well, there's not really a plan B to go to for this team.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard those saying, you live by the bomb, you die by it. And so it's kind of how their season's been predicated on.
Kevin Calabro and Lamar Hurd are courtside in Portland with OKC trying to hang on to an 11-point lead.
Keep it here after the game for the Fred Meyer postgame show. George and Michael are on the concourse, ready to bring you highlights and analysis. And we're going to hear from Coach Stotts. It's all coming up next. Well, Alexander has been murder for the Blazers here in this fourth quarter. 104-91 the count. A minute 39 left. CJ spinning, working on Gallinari. Time running down. 15 to shoot along the end line. Waiting for Bays for 3. Side of the glass. Alexander, the rebound and the foul on Damian Lillard. 1:28 remaining, and Terry goes to the bench. Jalen Horn's going to come in along with Simons, Little, and Labissiere. So the youth movement of the Blazers coming off the bench. Blazers can ill afford any more injuries. And down 13 with a minute and a half to go, it seems pretty apparent that the Thunder are going to win their first year of the series.
The shots just weren't going.
No, they weren't.
And in game one between these two, the Blazers, 17 main threes at 48.5%. In the second game, 14 made threes at 46.5%. It's just a different story in this one. And Kev, I will tell you something I did like seeing tonight. Yusuf Nurkic before the game out on the floor.
Yes.
In his athletic gear.
Yep.
Giving some casual shots up.
Yeah, in fact, Kerry Eggers, the dogged reporter, for so many years here in Portland, was
the best.
Just going at Terry from every conceivable angle in the pregame scrum, and Terry just would not go there. Had no timetable, working on his own. Stay tuned. 1:07 to go here in the fourth. Thunder 105, Blazers 93. Chris Paul working on Jalen Horn. Horn's 6'8", and he can move. That's Wake Forest on Wake Forest right there. Yeah. Azonia comes down with the board. Jalen Horn with it. Can't get control of it. Feel it. And he's fouled. Ward has played in 3 games for the Blazers this year, total of 11 minutes. He's already scored his first NBA bucket. And now he steps to the line.
He's intriguing.
It really is. I mean, you can see his size, but he's graceful. He moves up and down the floor well.
Just watching him
Explodes off the
training
floor.
camp, yeah.
Yeah, he and Little out on the floor together. That's wow. They're flying around. 105, 94 count, 38 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Maryland's Noel. Gallinari. Mike Muscala will knock down a triple. It'll help his numbers. He was shooting 25% from 3 coming in. 108, 94 count, 19 seconds left. Nasir with it. On the bounce, taking it strong to the cup. And he's fouled.
Off the right leg. Right-handed shooters are left-legged jumpers. Typically, Nasir can go right, left, both feet.
Whatever it takes.
Yes.
Little the free throw up and in. The Blazers here at home will go to 4-6 on the year. And 9-15 for the campaign. And the Thunder will go to 10-12. Little's free throw is good. There were 15 lead changes in this baby tonight, 7 ties. Thunder led by as many as 18 in the second before the Blazers with a 34-27 second quarter, or actually the Thunder with a 34-27 second quarter, took that 18-point lead, but the Blazers were able to cut into it, pull within 8 at half, and actually take a lead of 2 in the third. Chris Paul tonight with 20 points. Gilgeous-Alexander with 21 and Schroeder 21. The 3 guards of the Thunder get the better of the Blazers tonight. Another 20.
Season low 96 points for the Trailblazers, who suffer back-to-back double-digit home losses. Really handled by the Lakers on Friday night, then just couldn't hit shots tonight, shooting 36% and 9 of 33 from three-point range. Oklahoma City has now won 5 of 7.
Yeah, you know, they're a team that they're hard to figure out, but you're in for a ball game every night when you play them. You know you're going to get work from the big fella, Aquaman, Steven Adams. Chris Paul is obviously capable, and Gallinari, you know, and Gilgeous-Alexander really coming into his own. So, you know, on any given night, they can beat any team, and they showed that tonight.
Yeah, they're finding a rhythm now. They're bringing guys off the bench, and they're starting to you know, find out who they are a little bit. They brought a lot of new pieces in, and we're just searching, I think, for an identity. But now they're starting to find it a little bit. And conversely, you know, another injury to Hood. Portland's got to be shaking their head like, what do we got to do to just, you know, get some healthy bodies on the floor?
Yeah, you know, we just got finished talking about the fact that Portland, the team that you remember about Portland and all the motion that they used to run, now everything's coming down to isolation basketball. You see with them, and you made a good point off the air that they play, you know, teams are switching so much that, you know, guys don't want to do the work to get open when there's a switch, and so then they just rely on just trying to beat a man off the dribble one-on-one instead of, you know, when switches don't come together, you slip inside.
If
you
Brian,
screen your own man.
I was saying, if Brian and I'm sprinting down to set a screen for you, and their action has a lot of fast movement, and all of a sudden, you know, you slip, I pop, and I promise you, one of those 2 guys will be open because the defenders make mistakes.
Right.
But they switch everything, and the teams get really frustrated because they just say, they're just switching. You know, I'm not going to run this stuff. Then you end up with a lot of isolation. Isolation basketball is really hard to win regular season games. But playoffs, where I think where isolation really hurts you. You have to have some ball movement, body movement. You talked about it, Matt. What's plan B for this team? I've often thought that, you know, even though people don't feature the post, man, if you got a guy that can play in the post and your stuff's kind of going sideways, you get that ball in the post, let him get in there, get some free throws, and change the rhythm. But a lot of these teams are plan A, shoot jumpers, plan B, shoot jumpers, and plan C, shoot jumpers. If they're not going in, you don't win.
Amazingly low assist total for this game. Just 28 assists between the two teams tonight.
Ooh.
16 for Portland, just a dozen for Oklahoma.